Hello friends, I am Karthik. I am an assistant professor of physics at the Majuro College, Madurai. In this video, I am going to discuss about the equations of motion, how to use these equations of motion in case of free fall of a body, and how to use these equations to calculate the stopping distance of a vehicle when we apply brakes to it. And these are the concepts which I am going to discuss in this video. There are three equations of motion: v equal to u plus at, s equal to ut plus half at squared, v squared equal to u squared plus 2as. In this equation, v is called the final velocity of a body, u is called the initial velocity, a is the acceleration of the body, t is the time taken, and s is the displacement of the body. We can use these equations when the object is traveling with some uniform acceleration. Here, v is called the final velocity because the velocity of the body keeps on changing with respect to time, and when you observe the body at some particular time t, and when we want to try to calculate the velocity of the body at that particular instant, that is the velocity of the body at that particular time t, we have to use this formula. When you know the acceleration of the body, initial velocity of the body, and when you know the time taken, you can use this formula to calculate the final velocity of the body. Second equation is concerned when you want to calculate the distance traveled by the body in time t, and when you know the acceleration of the body and you know the initial velocity of the body, you can use this formula to calculate the distance or the displacement of the body. And finally, when you know the displacement of the body, acceleration of the body, and also the initial velocity of the body, you can use this equation to calculate the final velocity of the body. All these three equations of motion can be used when the body travels with some uniform acceleration. And this is all about the equations of motion. The next thing is I am going to discuss how these equations can be used in case of free fall of a body. What is meant by free fall of a body? When I tell the free fall of a body, what I mean is there is no external velocity imparted to the body. Just I take this marker and I just drop this marker. I am not imparting any initial velocity to this body. I am just letting it fall under the influence of the acceleration due to gravity. In this case, how to apply the equation of motion? This is what I am going to discuss now. When you drop this marker or any other object under the influence of just acceleration due to gravity, the final velocity v, this is what you have to calculate when the body travels in certain amount of time t. So when you drop any body like this under the influence of just acceleration due to gravity, the initial velocity is 0. So I am applying 0 here into t plus acceleration due to gravity. So in case of free fall of a body, the acceleration due to gravity is given by g. As you always take the upward direction as positive, here the acceleration due to gravity always acts in the downward direction, that is towards the earth. As I am taking the upward direction as positive, this acceleration due to gravity acts exactly in the opposite direction. So I am using minus g here, which means v equal to minus gt. You can use this formula to calculate the velocity of the body when it moves as a free fall, and at particular time t, you can calculate the final velocity of the body in case of free fall of the body. Secondly, s. So I have taken it as h, that is the height, because we always measure the distance from the ground. So the distance traveled is equal to the height of the body. And here I am going to use the second equation of motion. Here also, in case of free fall of a body, the initial velocity is 0. So I am applying 0 here plus half into, as in case of the first equation, here also I have to use just the acceleration due to gravity, because there is no any other velocity imparted to the body. And moreover, I am taking the upward direction as positive, so I have to use minus g here because acceleration due to gravity acts exactly in the opposite direction. So this means h equal to minus half gt square. You can use this formula to calculate the height of the body, the height up to which the body has fallen. Thirdly, we have to use this formula, v squared equal to u squared plus 2as. Here we have to calculate the final velocity, that is v. Here also the initial velocity is 0 plus 2 into g, that is minus g into h. So v squared equal to minus 2g h. This formula you have to use when you want to calculate the final velocity of the body in case you know the height up to which the body has fallen. So this is how you have to apply these three equations of motion to a body in case of free fall of a body. Next I am going to talk about how to use the equation of motion in order to calculate the stopping distance of a vehicle. How to calculate the stopping distance. Before I am going into the formula to calculate the stopping distance, I have to first explain what is meant by stopping distance of a vehicle. When you are moving in a motor vehicle and you suddenly apply the brake, usually the vehicle travels certain distance and then only it comes to halt. This means the vehicle has to travel a minimum distance in order to make its final velocity to 0. Then only the vehicle stops. So the vehicle travels certain distance even after you apply the brakes. So we are going to calculate what is the stopping distance or what is the distance up to which the vehicle travels before coming to rest. In this case, we can use this equation. V squared equal to u squared plus 2as is the general equation of motion. Now I have to apply this in order to calculate the stopping distance, yes, that is the distance up to which the body travels before coming to halt. In this case, since the final velocity v equal to 0, because finally the vehicle comes to rest, so the final velocity has to be taken as 0. So 0 square equal to u square plus 2 into a into s. S is actually the distance up to which the vehicle has travelled before coming to rest. Here I have to apply negative sign. What is the significance of this negative sign? Here I am actually applying the brakes in order to retard the vehicle. In other words, I am applying some negative acceleration to the vehicle. Acceleration can be both ways. It can be positive or negative. When you are giving the force in order to increase the velocity, this is actually taken as positive acceleration. But in this case, when I am actually applying the brakes, I am actually giving a retarding force in order to slow down the vehicle. In other words, what I can mean is I am applying the brakes in order to decrease the velocity of the body. That's why the acceleration has to be taken as negative. Therefore, u squared minus 2a s. When I have to calculate the stopping distance, 2as equal to u squared, s equal to u squared by 2a. This is how I have to calculate the stopping distance of a vehicle using the equations of motion. So while starting the video, I explained what are all the equations of motion. Then I explained you how to apply this in case of free fall of a body. And then finally I derived the formula for calculating the stopping distance of a vehicle using the equation of motion. Thanks for watching this video. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you want to share this video with your friends, please do share. If you want to watch more videos, kindly subscribe to my channel. If you want to receive notifications regarding the new videos in my channel, kindly tap the bell icon near to the subscribe button. Thanks for supporting me. Thank you.